everybody, Uncle Grizzly here again, coming at you with another episode of Uncle Grizzly's Country Corner. Well, today, we're coming to you from the Fort Smith National Historic Site. We're going to take you around, show you some of the sites. I really wish we could take you into Judge Parker's courthouse over here, but unfortunately, they're closed today. But that doesn't mean we can't do another episode later on. However, the lighting is so cruddy. I gotta face this way in order for you to see me. Here I am. Anyways, if you remember in my last video, I told you we were going to be doing a special video with a guest and a friend of mine from New York. So, I'd like to come in here. Sorry about keep covering up the camera. Come in here. Hey, James.
Hello.
This is my buddy James. He does the Discover the Finger Lakes channel here on YouTube. Be sure to look him up. Give him a shout. Subscribe. He does a lot of really cool videos showing trails and tourist sites and stuff like that up around the 5 lakes up in New York and up around the
Finger Lakes.
Baloney area.
Baloney. Yeah.
Hey, he's up here around Bologna, New York, but Baloney, it's all a bunch of strange stuff. But we're going to go around today. Let's see. You can see back here behind me. Yeah, right there is Judge Parker's courthouse. And we're going to go back over here across the train tracks back here and show you the old original fort site. So, tell you what, sit down, strap in, buckle up, and come along for the ride. Okay, folks, here we are. We're coming up around the fence around the gallows out here at Judge Parker's. Judge Parker was known as the hanging judge, and he has actually gone on record as being the judge with the most convicted hangings. Oh. Sorry. Not a problem. There's the gallows, and if you want, you can take and pause the video here and look at the list of people that were executed here and read the info up at the top. Now, I do believe this is a replica of the original gallows that were here. We've also got this little bit of info. Try and get it in here for you. You can pause the video again and read that interesting little historic fact there if you want. Sorry about the buzz sound. But if I'm not mistaken, this is a 1-to-1 replica of the original gallows that was here. When they would bring people in to be executed, they would bring them up these steps, then walk them along, and they'd have the ropes tied to that one giant beam there. Now, come under here. You've got 1, 2, 3. You could put, or they could execute up to 4 people at one time. Now, the executioner or the hangman would stand and hang on to that lever right there, and when given the word, he'd yank that lever towards the back, which would pull on this bar here, and you see these uprights right here. There's 1, 2, and there's another one here, 3. Now on this side, they've got these safety plates up here so that it can't be activated. But right in the center, right there, you can see the little square peg that would hold onto this bar here. And when the hangman would pull that lever, it would pull those out, and these trap doors would drop down, and the prisoners would fall down between this beam and this beam until they were pronounced dead. Then they'd be taken down, and their bodies would be hauled out through that door. Okay, take 3. Clean my lens off there. This is Judge Parker's courthouse and what used to be a federal jail. Now, Judge Parker's courtroom is down here in the far end of the building. That's the original part of the building. And I'm not exactly sure right at the moment, but I'll get dates for you, and I'll probably throw them in when I do my editing. But this is where frontier justice would happen. Now, this is the original part of the building here. This section here was added on later and was the federal jail for this area for many miles around. Before this section was added, the basement here was the jail. See if we can see inside any of these windows. No, can't see in very well. Maybe when we go around to the other side. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't see in there. But we'll go around to the back side here shortly and let's see if we can get a look in there. We're out here today with James Kinney from Discover the Finger Lakes. Since he and I've got the same style of camera, I've been having some problems. My camera will start recording, then it stops, then it starts, then it stops. Couldn't figure out what it was. Come to find out, last time I did it, I turn around and look, and he's sitting there fiddling with the remote to his camera. And it was starting and stopping mine. So this is like the 3rd or 4th time I've tried doing this bit. But we ready to go around to the commissary?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, let me see if I can get a... Let's see what we can do here with this. Hopefully you can read it. If you want to, you can take and pause the video. Here you go. In 1880, the original courthouse, that section of the building, was built. And the first jail, the basement that I was showing you, was down underneath. And then in 1888, now this is the back side of the courthouse here, but the second jail was added on in 1888. So, okay, here we go. The first floor was the original barracks, 1851 to 1887. The basement was the first jail, built in 1872. And then the courthouse second floor was added in 1891. And then the second jail was added in 1888. So we're gonna holler at the girls. Hey girls, we're gonna head this way. While they're having fun talking, James and I, we're just out here running around like a couple of fools in this cold weather. I see you finally put your gloves on.
Finally.
Bad thing about it, I've had mine on the whole time and my fingers are froze.
Yeah. So this next building, what is it, Grizzly?
Okay, the light tan brick building over to our left is the Old Commissary Building.
Okay.
From back when this was a military fort area. Now, all of this stuff over here to the right, this has all been added in like the last, 20 years?
I believe so, yes.
You got another little parking area, another little park up there. Over behind the shrubs and stuff over here, you've got a little pavilion for having parties and such. And so on. Unfortunately, we're only going to be able to show the outside.
Yeah.
Because remember last time y'all were out and we came out here, we were able to actually step inside a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I think I stepped on a bullfrog. Sounded like he was about half frozen. Okay, let's go over this way and look and see what the signs, or signage over here says. Ah. Here we go. This is telling about this building right here. And get that side. Once again, if you want, you can stop and read it. Here's continuation. And then these are some pictures of historic postcards. Oh, and you know what? According to this one postcard picture right here,
Yep.
we're standing on an old, or over an old well. Right here where these rocks are at, there was an old well right here where they would draw water for the commissary.
Interesting. Did you hear that? That's an old well. That's neat.
The building right here is the old Frisco train depot. I don't know when it was built. I don't know if you'd be able to read that or not. It's even hard to read here in person. But yeah, that's one of the, or that's probably the first, if not one of the first train stations in this area. Let's walk around over here.
The two-story building you see today was built on that foundation by the military in 1846 for food storage. And then these are pictures of the different times when it was built and the changes that went through it. They say the commissary building would have been demolished in 1909 had a local group of women not intervened. They successfully persuaded city leaders and citizens to rescue the building. So there it is, the commissary building.
Now usually when they've got the courthouse open, they've actually got one of the doors around here open to where you can step just inside. Hey, wait a minute.
Where's the girls at?
Oh, they do have it open. The girls come in out of the cold.
So we're going to go in the commissary building and take a look.
Too bad they don't have that fireplace going.
That's neat.
Okay. Essence of coffee. Condensed milk. And all other kinds of fruits and vegetables. Yes, it says essence of coffee.
Stick out. You know what I mean.
Oh, good Lord. And that is what the army bread looks like. Oh, they did. They even put fake maggots on it.
Ew, because it's, I'm sure how it actually was.
Right.
Yeah, considering that it came in boxes similar to those.
Mhm.
And just wrapped in that brown paper, and Lord knows how long.
Mhm.
And this was soap,
Maggots off it.
and then candles. And we can't forget salt pork.
Yeah, there's another one over there too.
Can you see the little critter hiding right there? They got rats in the corn.
diet. The walls were almost hidden by a wealth of vines and foliage, and the enclosed space was as green as nature and care could make it. Beautiful flowers beds were kept well tended by the soldiers.
Okay, what we've got here, this is the location, and they've got it laid out with these red bricks showing foundation areas for the old officers' quarters here. Now, the way this building was set up, you had two hallways. One which I'm actually standing in here, and then one at the other end. You got two rooms. Oh, well, wait, hang on, correction, 4 hallways. You've got one hallway right here, one hallway right here, and then 2 more just like it down on the other end. And you had 2 rooms on the end, 4 rooms back to back in the middle, and 2 more rooms down on the far end. And as you can tell, they weren't very big rooms, but they did have fireplaces. And this back here was the garden for the officers. It was usually taken care of by soldiers and stuff, and now they've got a couple of groups that do come in, and during the spring and summer they've got all kinds of vegetables and flowers and stuff planted out here. Now you can see where there's still some veggies that weren't harvested. Got some trellises. Ooh. Oh. Got a loofah. Yeah, pretty nice little place here. I like how they had the beds outlined with the flagstones. And everything looks really nice. And there's the back side of Judge Parker's. Okay, get back with you here. Okay, we're now overlooking Belle Point, which was the site of the first Fort Smith. And this little plaque commemorates it, stating in 1817, the first Fort Smith was built at Belle Point at the junction of the Poteau and Arkansas rivers by Major William Bradford for mutual protection of the pioneers and Indians. He was in command until 1822, and it was named in honor of Brigadier General Thomas A. Smith. This placard was erected as a public service by the Noon Civics Club in 1936. Now, just prior to, actually, at the time, the fort was actually located in Indian Territory. Right here is a boundary marker that's dated 1858, and standing here, everything to the right of it, while facing north, was United States of America. And once again, as you can see, we are somewhat facing north. Everything to the west was Indian Territory. So Fort Smith was originally founded right on the edge of civilization. And we'll get back with you when we get on in closer to the old fort foundation. Okay, folks, here we are at the foundation of the original Fort Smith. And while James is piddling around over there, I think he's having some technical difficulties with finding a charged battery. We'll go ahead and walk in here and just kind of get an idea of the size. Hey James, when you get ready, go stand on that corner. Try to give folks an idea of how wide this, or actually how small this site was. Now this pit right here was one of the block houses for the fort. This would have been one of the towers, and so on. Now, with him having dark clothes on, wave. I don't know if you can see him right in there, but the fort wasn't very big. And you've got one corner there, and then right here you see the sidewalk as it curves around. Right in there is another piece of rock, or area of rock, that was one of the front corners of the fort. Now we don't have all of the foundation, but we do still have a pretty good portion of it. Oh, so there would have been a walkway right through here leading to the blockhouse. Right in this area is where the surgeon would have stayed, and he'd have performed his medical duties. Come on down this way. Here's the other corner of the fort that I was telling you about. It is freaking chilly out here today. This was a area for the soldiers' quarters. This would have been the very front of the fort here that had a little lookout tower area around in this area. You look out here, over here through the trees to the right is the Arkansas River, and then over here to the left is the Poto River, where they would, and this is where they come together. And then head on down this way to the east as they wind across the state of Arkansas and empty out into the Mississippi. Oh, that rock had a little bit of a hole in it. But come on over this way a little bit. We've got more foundation over here under this tree. That corner would have been another blockhouse. Right here would have been your wheelwright shop. This area next to the wheelwright right here would have been your carpenter's shop. You can get your furniture or anything wooden you needed made done up. And then you've got your outer wall here. And comes around to this large area here, which would have been your magazine for storing ammunition, gunpowder, cannonballs, musket balls, stuff like that. And then this end down here would have been your dining room. So somewhere right there in the middle would have been a wall to separate the two rooms. And of course, this is a representation of some of the armament that would have been out here.
Over there. And then the Arkansas River in front of us, right there.
Well, also, I don't know how well they'll be able to see it.
Yep.
But right here through the trees, you've got a little spit.
Yep.
That comes out.
Yep.
Everything on the right-hand side of it is the Arkansas River going back and around.
Yes. Okay.
And then everything on this left side is Poto.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. Okay. So did you
We
get
can
that?
we can show them better here in just a bit when we head down closer to the river.
Good, because I want to go down there. That's where they land. I think down there is where the landings occurred.
Yeah, it was somewhere along through here.
Okay. Good.
There's just one thing.
Yeah.
I ain't going down the hill.
No. I'm going to take a picture of this cannon real quick.
Well, you still got your got that on your tripod, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell you what. We'll get back with you folks here in just a little.
No, I'll make a comment, about it.
Oh. Folks, we're down here now at the edge of the river. This is where the first soldiers and settlers came in off of the Arkansas River and made landing when Fort Smith was developed. This area here that we're sitting on, oh goodness, excuse me, but this area we're sitting on here, and the rocks James is walking, dadgum hiccups. I apologize, folks, but this is what is known as Belle Point. Now, I've got to make a correction here. When we were up on the hill, I was pointing out this little spit that's right here and saying that everything on this side was the Poto River, everything on the other side was the Arkansas River. I was kind of slightly wrong. The Poto River actually comes in